Welcome, welcome, race fans. This is Ron with Bigg Wizurd TV, and we are live at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We have a treat for you tonight. This is going to be good. This is going to be great. So far, already, we've got 14 cars on the racetrack. We still have about 20 minutes, just short of 20 minutes to go in the session for practice. Then we're going to jump into qualifying. This one is going to be good. Let's go through what's happening in the world. We've only got, counting this race, we've only got 4 races to go. So the championship is as follows. With 4 races to go, we've got as close of a battle as you can possibly get. In Formula One, or in this series, you're going to have about 30 points and about a 5-point deficit between first and second. About 30 points total, and second place is going to be around 28, 27, something like that. Morgan Teggy currently on the point with 186 points. Christian Bishop behind him with 184. 2 points are separating our leaders, and I forgot to turn on the old camera. Let's see if it works tonight. Hey, there it is. Hi, everybody. This hand. Hi, everybody. Hey, Ron with Bigg Wizurd TV. We are on the air. Is my mic on? Boom, 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 boom. Is this on? Boom. Yes. Mic is on. Desktop audio is on. Stream is on. We are rocking and rolling. Man, I'm excited to be here tonight. Hope you guys are excited to be here as well. Don't have anybody on quite yet, but I'm telling you, we got some treats for you tonight. We'll see who watches the replay and who notices the good stuff post-race or during the race, if we can get some fans in here. I know I usually have a couple, but not yet. So we'll see if they show up. We've got, like I said, 14 drivers on the racetrack. We got a couple drivers that have been out and they're back, and I'm so glad to hear it. Glad to have those guys back with us. We'll have to jump around in the booth here and see if we can get a hold of a couple of them. We'll see if they are around. But points championship battle. Morgan Teggy, Christian Bishop, Chris Springer, all within 13 points. It was 12 last week. Chris has dropped 1 point. He came in second last week. But he was up on the top of the timing chart all night. The week before, he had the fastest lap of the race, which is good for a point. Last week, Christian Bishop took the win, and this week, Morgan Teggy is on point with the fastest practice lap so far with a 106.8. Flying out there. Ed Smith right behind. Now, Ed is awesome in these old Lotus 79s, and I'm telling you what, we have a treat for you tonight. These things are incredible. Let's hit the car and talk about the car. This car, the Lotus 79, was raced in 1978. Mario Andretti won the championship of Formula One in this car in 1978. And it is a engineering marvel, shall we say. For the first time in the history of racing, as you see right there, as that car flipped over, they used the underbody of the car and made channels for the air underneath the car. So they put shapes underneath the side pods, and they had an opening in the front and the opening in the back, and they used that to feed radiators and just all kinds of different things you could do to cool the car down and to get the car to stick to the ground. Complete marvel with air design and airflow, and changed Formula One from this point forward. Up until now, it was just downforce. What downforce could we get? And even that wasn't much, because if you look at the race cars from the 60s, they were just tubes. They had a little wing on the back. They didn't have any downforce. But these things really picked it up. This Lotus 79 was the racing marvel that all promised to be. I mean, this thing was great. iRacing has been completely awesome in bringing it out for us to race. Love this car, love this track. So let's hit the car. I guess I should have been showing my cool car show. Little car spinning around. This is the Lotus 79. just a wedge. You can see under the back of the car. Let's bring that around and we'll stop it. Let's see. Whoa, whoa, not so fast. Slow it down, will you? We'll bring it around one more time and I'll pause it this time. Right, boom, right there. You can see there's channels in between the cockpit and the tires where the body does not go all the way down. That little channel right there is the airflow channel that we're talking about. It allows negative pressure to build underneath the car and suck the car down to the ground, creating an incredible amount of downforce. And they also have the side pods on the car between the front wheel and the back wheel that you can see there on Brandon Dooley's car are colored in green, so easy to see. Those little side pods have the radiators and things in them that allowed more airflow to go into them. Just an incredible car. Let's talk about the racetrack. Canadian Tire Motorsports Park, more affectionately known as MoSport. One of the most challenging racetracks, one of the most technical racetracks. This thing is a beauty. The Canadian Tire Motorsports Park only has 10 corners. It's 2.5 miles around. But the corners that they have, every one of them is unique. Every one of them is challenging. Let's pause right here to look. The front straight is on the right-hand side in the lower part of the screen. You can see the little black line. That's the front stretch. No, that's not. The front stretch is way up here on the top left. Top left is the front stretch, and they're going up the track to the right as they go across the start-finish line. It's a big black line right there in the middle of the racetrack on the top left of the screen. They go into the S's, long sweeping S's, flat out with these cars. You barely have to lift at all. Then you get to turn 5. Turn 5 is the horseshoe hairpin. Double apex hairpin, one of the most technical racetrack corners anywhere. It has, let me see if I can get some more details for you, because this thing is amazing. I know they'll have the name of the corner, but quite a challenging corner. Then the Mario Andretti straight. You just jump off of that corner, so you have to get the perfect exit off the double hairpin, and then flat out all the way down that flat side of the racetrack, the bottom of the racetrack. Turn down in as you get into the start-finish line, the S's. You try to hold it as wide open as you can. The pit lane entrance is right there as you enter into that front stretch, and then across the pit straight, back across the start-finish line. This track is anything. I mean, it is everything and awesome. The track is great. This is a picture right here of the double hairpin. This is the exit of that going up the Andretti straight. Just a beautiful racetrack. I was going to look up the corners and all that, but I think our time has passed for doing that. But thanks for tuning in. Hopefully you caught the entry as we were talking about the car, the Lotus 79, the historical significance of the Lotus 79. Good stuff. Oh, forgot to turn my light on. Sorry, I'm sitting here in the dark. There we go. Hey, hi everybody. Hey, other hand. Everything's backwards in TV land. But the car of the Lotus 79, just a technical marvel for 1979. So, or 1978. My apologies. 1978. So, Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. They have been around for 60 years. Racing at MoSport now for 60 years. Something. Woo! All right. Don't crunch the ice on the air. Canadian Tire Motorsports Park was opened, let's see, built in the 1950s. In 2001, they repaved the whole thing. This iRacing Scan is the repaved version. Can-Am first went to the racetrack in 1966. Wow. There's Todd Schwartz coming around. Now they do have the healing damage turned on, so you get to fix your car and keep going, as you noticed right there. If you don't flip it over, you can keep it going. Formula One started here remained at the track until 1977. So this is just about perfect. These cars would have been out in 1978. The historic Grand Prix of Procraft. Procraft Formula One historic edition tonight. We are here on behalf of Procraft. My name's Ron. I'm with Bigg Wizurd TV. Bigg Wizurd TV is on the air because of our awesome sponsors, Stair Fittings Incorporated and Grandpa'sKitchen.com. We appreciate those guys and thankful that we've been able to stay on the air. About 7 more minutes. Let's hit a little bit more detail on this racetrack. The 10 corners. There's a really cool picture. Moss Corner is the killer. So you go across the front stretch, and let's see if we can get a car here that's doing it. Let's see if we can get one that's actually going to stay on the racetrack. See, even the best are in the grass. Cruise around with Novotny. Jump on his roll bar cam. He's coming down to the S's before the start-finish line. Here he goes across the start-finish line now. Start-finish line into turn 1. I don't see a name for turn 1. And then the left-hander here down the hill is called Clayton Corner. Turn 2. And around he goes. Off camber. Track slides out from under you. I got nobody home. Ed Smith going through Moss Corner. No, he's not. Where is he? Yes, that was Moss Corner. Ah, I know my corners, and then I don't know myself. All right, going down Mario Andretti straightaway. And that one takes a while. It's turn 6 and 7. This is turn 7, just a slight kink. And then he hits the S's hard, coming into these full speed. Through the S's, and he's going in the pit lane, so he's not going to help us at all. So we'll see if Skyler's going to help us. Come on, Skyler. Do a lap for us, buddy. There he goes. Across the start-finish line he goes. Let's jump on board with Skyler as he goes across the start-finish line into turn 1. Full throttle all the way down. Lifts just slightly as he gives up the lap. All right, Bob. Give us a shot, Bob. As Bob goes through turn 3, Quebec Corner. Comes through the kink at 4. Down the hill, then back up the hill. You can see it there. Quite an uphill spot. Through the second apex at turn 5, and around he goes up the Andretti straightaway. Flat out all the way through this section, currently being followed by Vincent Tramontano. Let's talk about who's on track tonight. We've got the 2 teammates, Morgan Teggy and Adam Novotny, currently holding the top spots on the board. Let me see if I can get some info on the teams, because, you know, I can't remember them all. This we're riding along with Bob Wallace from No Fox Racing. He is out here tonight in force. Christian Bishop, Kelly Bishop, both on track. They're from Space Sheep Racing. Kelly in the pit lane, and that's Kelly, and then Christian's in the pit lane. Those 2 guys have made it out here on the track tonight. That is Space Sheep Racing Team. Red Bull Racing Team, Josh Lowe and Will. Neither one of those guys have made it. Alfa Romeo, the 44. Chris Tardamella is on the circuit, but not in his car. Let's see. Harry Lama Racing, that is Brandon Dooley. And his teammate Chris Springer You can see the colors on their cars. They've got the standard purple and green that you can notice from anywhere. Rust Belt Racing, current points leader, Morgan Teggy, currently in the pits. His teammate, Adam Novotny, in the familiar white, purple, and blue color combination. Scudiera Procore Spaziale, that's Theo Bishop and Andrew Huddleston. And Theo is here doing some laps. Andrew is not tonight. Eric Heater Motorsports missing from tonight's action. Eagle Race Team, Vincent Tramontano is on the course. Oh, a little bump through Moss Corner for Vincent. Phil Blackburn not on the track. Team VR Rossi 78, Landon Paternos, no. And his teammate, no. Skylar Vickroy and Bob Wallace, Zero Fox Given Racing. He is out here. I just watched Bob for a minute. Bob's recovering. Hope he's doing well. He's out here on track. P9 out of the 14 that are on the course so far. Skylar in the 12, currently in the pit lane, and he's in P10. Right behind his teammate. Daewoo Development, Racing Development. The 86, no. 605, yes. That's Ed Smith. He's out there on track. They've gone plaid. Sean Williams, Todd Schwartz, Todd carrying the banner. And Todd is out here. He's in pit lane right now, but he is on track. Team Audi Davidson, no, not tonight. So those are the drivers. Those are the teams. We got a couple other people out there that don't have teams, but not many. Everybody out there, I think, has a team tonight. Got the 14 of them. There's a couple drivers I can't see at the moment. If I go in the middle of the pack, I think I will. Philip Scott. Philip Scott, new driver, new driver. Ding, 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 winner, winner. Philip Scott is our new driver of the day. Philip is has no team here. But number 99, he just finished up another series and now has a free minute. So he's going to race with us. Good to have him on the track. And those are the drivers. Those are the cars. This is the track. I think we've covered it all. We're getting ready for qualifying. And it is going to be hot. Okay, so with the Lotus 79, you got to remember there is no tire change requirement. The Lotus 79 does not have tire compounds. Back in 1978, there were no tire compounds. They just had the one they had on the car, and they had to make it work. So that's what they're going to do here tonight. They've got one tire to put on. They can switch during their pit stop. It does take a few minutes or a few extra seconds. We'll see if they do it. So tire strategy is only, do I change or do I not change tires? That's the tire strategy. That's all that's all they have. So we'll see how that plays out. Morgan with the quickest time in practice. Practice session has ended. Qualifying will now begin. Let's bring in our special guest. We have a special guest tonight. Hope you guys enjoy having our historical special guest. Let me see if I can bring this up. Howard, are you there, Howard? Time travel is tough. Time travel. Howard, did we get you? Welcome, fans of speed. This is Howard Cosell. We are here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. This is going to be some great racing action. The year is 1978. The car, the Lotus 79. The drivers, Morgan Teggy, Christian Bishop on the top of the standings. 2 points separate our leaders. We will see the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat. How will it play out tonight? Who will take the checkered flag first? I say it's Morgan Teggy. You say it's Christian Bishop. The fans say it's Ed Smith. We don't know. One mistake, one error changes the entire outcome of this race. Bigg Wizurd, I don't know how you're doing this. Where are these computers coming from? I look outside my window, it's dark outside. Yet on the racetrack, it is not. Whoa! There's Bob Wallace going through the infield. That should be his. Hey, no. No, his car is repaired. I don't know what magic you are pulling, where this is coming from, but these cars are fast. As we watch Philip Scott in the 99. Now Adam Novotny, who will take the top spot in qualifying. We only have 13 minutes to go. Howard, how did you get here? What was the... I don't know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Am I in 1978 or are you in 2022? I don't know what you're talking about, Wizard. I don't even know how to spell your name. It's wrong. We are in 1978. We are here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. I think they're going to call it MoSport. This racetrack has been around now for 16 years. And the racing here is incredible. Another car. Philip Scott into the wall. And yet, he still drives. How is this possible? This is not right. Something's wrong. I'm leaving. Howard. Howard, come back. Howard. All right. Well, he's gone. Howard Cosell, everybody. Straight from 1978. Thanks for having him on the broadcast. Appreciate him being here. I appreciate the major broadcasting corporation for giving him a few minutes with us here at Bigg Wizurd TV. Bigg Wizurd TV brought to you by Stair Fittings Incorporated. A big shout out to Stair Fittings Inc. If you need anything for your stairs, check them out. Orders.stairfittings.com. Right on the bottom of the screen, orders.stairfittings.com. They have all kinds of stuff you might need. Handrails, brackets, accessories, stair treads. They can get the balusters, the little trim pieces, aprons, skirts, risers. It's all there. It's all there. Orders.stairfittings.com. Tell them Bigg Wizurd sent you. They'll take care of you. And then we have grandpaskitchen.com. Grandpa's Kitchen for your gluten-free needs. grandpaskitchen.com. 10% discount code BWTV. You can use it today. You can use it tomorrow. You can use it every time. It works all the time. BWTV, 10% off at grandpaskitchen.com. Procraft is our sponsor. Formula One historical racing is the game. And these guys are flying. Right now, Morgan Teggy with the top spot. The gap back to Ed Smith, just 0.2 of a second. Adam Novotny just a tenth behind from there. Man, Adam has had some great qualifying sessions this season. Has not been able to pull off a great run yet. We'll see if tonight's his night. As Brandon Dooley throws down a 108.3, moves up to P7. Watching him go around. Morgan Teggy on the point. Just barely hanging out of that car coming around turn one. He may have had an off track there. That may have ended his lap. We have just 15 minutes, 10 to go in the qualifying session. Here's second place in the championship. Sheep Space Racing. Christian Bishop is the driver. Number 26 is the car. Christian running currently P5. Oh, and around he goes! Through the S's off at turn 2. Man, it's so slick. Hot track, 97 degrees temperature, track temperature. Not too hot, but apparently hot enough. These guys must have these things trimmed out, so they're really running them thin with very little downforce. As Adam comes around in turn 5, passing Theo Bishop on a qualifying lap. That's probably going to hurt his lap, though. Usually you have to get offline, makes it pretty complex, pretty tough to get around another car during quali. But it does look like he's got clear track ahead of him for the next lap. Let's follow him around and see if Mr. Adam Novotny can throw one down. Everybody we've run from this roll bar angle has messed up. Now these cars are different from the the W12. There is no battery. Whoa! And the curse continues. Sorry, Adam. My fault. My fault. You shouldn't have wrecked there. It's me. It's not you. It's me. It's not you. It's not you. It's me. These cars do not have an MGKU. They do not have a battery. We do have healing damage turned on, but they do not have a battery. So without the battery, they don't have to charge the car up for a lap and then run the quali lap. So every lap can be a fast lap. As Brandon uses that auto healing, gets out of the way of the racetrack. Adam's going to try it again. He's on a warm-up lap though. Ed Smith moved into the second spot, 106.9, following Morgan's 106.7, just 0.2. Separate the top two, Adam in 0.3 back. Ed sliding through Moss Corner. Wow, that was incredible. Christian Bishop trying to lay down a lap as well. Can he do it? Can he get up there to the top spot? He's going to have to battle Morgan. Only 4 races to go in the championship. The championship lead is only 2 points. 2 points. Morgan Teggy over Christian Bishop. And then another 11 points back, Chris Springer, who's currently tonight running in P6 in the qualifying. Here comes Christian. Does he improve? Comes across the line and does not improve. He's going to try it again. Nope. Nope. He looks like he's done. Here goes Ed Smith, though. Adam is also out on the hot line. Qualifying tonight, had our special guest visitor, Howard Cosell, in the booth with us. Right in from 1978. He was up there at the racetrack, but he said it was dark out. Not sure where he was. But we're live. We've got daylight. We've got racetrack. It's currently 4:45 p.m. on the racetrack. Plenty of time for a race tonight. Let's see if I can find where I put my info. Schedule will tell us how many laps we're running tonight, or it should. They did change it a little bit because of fuel. 39. 39 is the number of laps we're going to be running tonight in the race. The fuel, now they do not have to stop for tires because there's no tire compound difference. You only get one tire compound in this historic series. They didn't have multiple tire compounds in 1978. We don't have multiple tire compounds today in this car because it's from 1978. The difference is they only put 35% fuel in the car, so they can only run about, I think it's about 25 laps with the fuel that they can run. So with that, they're going to have to come in and get a pit stop, take a pit stop, get some fuel somewhere in the middle of the race. And we'll have to see how that goes. Ed Smith has taken the top spot away from Morgan Teggy. 106.6. Morgan Teggy with a 106.7. Adam Novotny third. Philip Scott, newcomer. He's in fourth. Christian Bishop nearly tied, 0.02 of a second away in fifth. Then Chris Springer half a second back. Followed by Brandon Dooley, Vincent Tramontana, Theo Bishop, Skylar Vickery, Bob Wallace. That is, I believe, your top 10. Actually, Bob's in 11th, followed by Kelly Bishop, Chris Tartamella, and Todd Schwartz. Bob Wallace just threw down a new lap and jumped up to a 108.3, moving him up to the 9th position. These cars, as you can tell, I don't know if you've noticed, but these are slick. This car on this track, it's like it floats. I mean, the car slides all over the place, it's sliding around. It's a handful to drive. It's got so much power. You want to get on the gas as soon as possible, and then it spins. It just doesn't have. I mean, you'd think those big tires on the back would be wide enough, but it can handle even more. Ed Smith is really showing us, taking everybody to school tonight. Morgan Teggy right there close, but Ed Smith out on the point. Let's see Morgan is in the pits. We've got only 3.5 minutes. It takes about a minute to go around, so they can get a warm-up and a lap in. Morgan may be calling it, unless he's going to try something else. Now, they can come in the pit lane, change amount of fuel they use. They could change a wing angle. They could change, anything they want to put the car right on the very edge to see if they can get that extra tenth or half a tenth. As you see the difference right now, 655 to 706, not even, just barely over half a tenth. Christian Bishop throws down a lap, moves himself up into the third position. Great job there for Christian as we watch Todd spinning in the Moss corner. Moss corner looks like, it definitely is the most challenging corner here, no doubt at all. But turn 2, Clayton corner, the bottom of the hill. You're coming down that hill and you're trying to keep that car going in the right direction. I'll tell you, I've spun here many, many times coming down off of turn 2. Quebec corner, turn 3 is usually pretty calm unless you're trying to go side by side. And then turn 4 and into Moss corner. The uphill braking into Moss corner is unbelievable. It's just, you're going uphill, you can brake late the car because it has the downforce on it, and going uphill, the weight of the car is pushed into the racetrack as it kind of gets that momentum going uphill, and the car can just stop on a dime, give you 9 cents back. Good stuff, good stuff. All right. So 1.5 minutes left. Oh, and that's going to do it for Chris Springer. He is in P5, and that's where he's going to stay. He just spun. He can, I don't think he can get around again. He might be able to if he just keeps it going from where he's at. Yeah, he threw it back to pit lane. He is done. He's have to get out quickly and get into the next lap. I think we're getting down to the wire. We've got 1 minute and 25 seconds to go. And it is getting tight. 14 drivers tonight in this historic Formula One race sponsored by Procraft. Ed Smith on the point. Morgan Teggy, we're watching him now. And he will not get the top spot. There he goes around. So that won't work for him. Christian Bishop. Can Christian put one down and get up higher? He's got a lap running. He's going across the start-finish line now. He has 41 seconds to get before the flag drops, and that is enough time because you can complete the lap that you're on. So right now, the 36. Theo Bishop finishing up his lap. He's going to be able to get one more in. 108.3 is his best and remains his best. Christian, this is his last time around. You just saw Todd pull off the racetrack. Christian going through turn 5. Perfect. Slides it through like he's a champ. Comes out of that corner. Let's see what he does. Coming up Andretti straightaway. Right behind him, Morgan Teggy, but I don't think Morgan's on a lap because the session is over. Morgan would have to come across the line before that checkered flag dropped, and he had an incident on this lap, so he's not going to make it. So this is it. This is Christian Bishop coming around. Can he do it? Coming through White's corner, start-finish line ahead. Oh, and he pulls into the pits. He's done. Wow. All that excitement for nothing. 6:05. We still got Ed Smith. He's on the point. He's not going to need to improve. He has the pole position. Will he finish up the lap anyway? Hard to say. Right now, Ed Smith on the point. Morgan Teggy alongside Christian Bishop and Adam Novotny in row 2. Philip Scott, Chris Springer in row 3. Brandon Dooley, Vincent Tramontana, row 4. Bob Wallace and Theo Bishop in row 5. Skyler and Kelly in row 6. And Chris Tartamella in row 7. Who's back there with Chris? Todd Schwartz in row 7. All right, well, that's it for qualifying. Let's line them up. We're going to line them up on the front stretch, and we're going to get them going. See if we can get... Not sure where the cars are. Get on the racetrack. They're probably changing their setups because they had the quali setups in. So now they're getting the race setups in. I don't see the cars. Where are the cars? Quali has finished, but the session has not rolled. There it goes. Now it rolled over. The pace car is currently the most exciting car, and this is a standing start race, so I don't think we're going to use the pace car as the drivers get ready. And they are populating the front stretch. We've got 14 cars. That's 7 rows side by side, two by two start, standing start. We'll see the flag pop up in the middle. And then Bernie up in the booth right there. You can see him. He's right there. He'll jump up and give us the green. Get ready for it. Standing starts on these cars. Lots of horsepower, little traction. The tires are cold. They don't get their warm-up tire temperature that they got during the practice or qualifying. They start with brand new tires in the simulator, so this is it. They're going to get a cold tire start. Who's going to get the clutch right? Who's going to get the launch? I think we're waiting on one more car to join. Chris Springer, he is now on track. Ed Smith is still not joined. Our point man, Ed. Come on, Ed. He probably doesn't have a whole lot of time. Hopefully he doesn't miss this start. That won't. Oh, there he goes. There he is in the yellow Pennzoil Chaparral painted car. He is on track. Everybody's ready. Here go the green lights. And away we go. There's Bernie with the green flag, and away they go. Ed Smith gets the jump as they come around turn 1. Oh, and we got a car wide. Cold tires, will they make it? Ed Smith, nice and smooth, jumps out to a half a second lead already over second place Morgan Teggy. Morgan under attack by Christian Bishop in second spot. As it looks like they all make it through. We did have a car off the track. That's Chris Tartamella in the back. We'll stay up front. We'll go back to Chris here as we can. But this action up front is where it's at right now. Ed Smith pulling away now, 6/10, 5/10. Oh, Morgan's hanging tough. Christian Bishop just behind. Followed by Adam Novotny with a great start in P4. Philip Scott, 1.5 seconds behind Morgan. As they go around to complete lap 1, Ed Smith in the front, Morgan Teggy, followed by Christian Bishop, Adam Novotny, Philip Scott, Chris Springer, Bob Wallace on the top 7 as they come around. Chris Tartamella has had some issues, but he is going again. He's just through turn 5 and on to the Andretti Straight. Let's go to TV1, get a little closer on the action as we go around the Quebec corner, down into turn 4 and up into this hard braking zone into turn 5. You can see all the rubber down on the racetrack from all the cars just slamming on the brakes and giving it everything they got going through Moss Corner. The gap is stable, 6/10, 2/10 back to Christian, 1.5 back to Adam Novotny. Christian has a run. He goes around the outside. Does he have the draft up the Andretti straightaway and around the outside? No. He does not have enough to get second spot yet. But he is definitely close enough to use that draft. He's right on the bumper of Morgan Teggy. Him and Adam have the exact same paint job, except for it looks like the rear wing is blue on Morgan's car and the rear wing is purple on Adam's car. Christian in the sandwich. He doesn't want to be. Coming up on the back end, they go through Quebec corner. Morgan gets a jump off the corner down into turn 4. We'll see how Christian does as they dive into turn 5, into Moss Corner again. Christian really has a good line through here. Morgan gets the exit again. Oh, and Adam around. Oh, Adam, what happened, buddy? What happened? Let's see if we can catch Adam Novotny. Coming through 5, right behind Christian. Oh, he just loses it. Just barely loses it coming around. Ah, bad luck for Adam. Let's go back up to the battle for second position. So Chris Springer takes over P4. He is a little bit back. He's got a 4-second gap now between Christian Bishop and fourth place Chris Springer. And these guys out front are flying. Ed Smith just dropped down a 107.3, fastest lap so far of the race. And he is starting to create a small gap up in the front. Ed Smith now with nearly a second. There's no DRS. You don't have any chance of any gain. If you have an aerodynamic advantage, you have to use it every lap. There's no DRS here where they can open that rear wing and flatten it out and get a little bit more speed. As you can see, the rear wings are all nice and snug and right where they belong. Christian trying around the outside again as they come up onto the S's in turns 8 and 9. Oh, he gets alongside. He's almost there. He gets room. They have room going around turn 10. Down the front stretch, it's still side by side. Morgan gets in front just by a nose through turn 1 and holds him off. Wow, what a launch Morgan got off of turn 10, off of White's corner. That was incredible. Christian is not giving it up. You know, you'd think with the aero wash behind that car, he's going to have a little trouble getting around him, but this Christian is just really putting down some great laps. And just right on the bumper. And Morgan doing an awesome job at holding him back. This battle is just intense. Here he goes, Christian again with a great launch off of 5. Does he have enough with the draft going up the hill through Andretti straightaway? Can he get him into turn 8 into the S's? Doesn't look like he's close enough. It looks like he's about the same as he was last time. The clock is at 0 between the two. They get to the corner. Morgan takes the inside line, and he just pulls away. Back to 2/10. It's tight, and then right across the start-finish line, Christian back up to a 10th behind. The cars are nearly nose to tail as they go down through turn 1. We're going to try it again. This is lap 6. We're working lap 6 of 39, and if it's like this the whole time, this is going to be incredible. Let's see if there's anything else that we can do out here on the racetrack. These two are covered by a blanket. The rest of the cars do have a little bit of a gap, but hey, let's go through the field, and if this changes up front, I'll try to get back to it as quick as I can. P1 obviously up here in the front with the Pennzoil. Chaparral painted Lotus 79 of Ed Smith. Absolutely flying out front. Fastest lap of the race so far. 2.5 to second spot. Who is number 88, Morgan Teggy, with Christian Bishop right on his tail once again, going around the outside as they enter the S's. Morgan with that inside line seems to get a better grip, a better launch out of turn 8 and holds him back for turn 9. Then Christian catches right back up. Oh, is Chris Tartamella off the track again? Stays out of the way. Oh, that's heartbreaking. He just has to sit there and wait for all these cars to go by. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. The battle up here is the same. Fourth place, Chris Springer in the 56. Out in front of this second group. He's got a 1.5 second lead over 99. Philip Scott in the blue and black Lotus 79. Behind Philip Scott, we've got Bob Wallace in the 666. And everybody's about the same gap. They're 1 to 2 seconds off of each other here. Although it looks like Adam Novotny is starting to put some moves on Skyler here. Skyler in P7, and he's got company as Adam Novotny, recovering from that earlier incident, gets a draft coming up Andretti straightaway. Takes that inside line as they come up the hill. He's got the draft and the momentum. Gets out in the front. Can he hold on to the corner and keep the position? Yes, he can, and there he goes. Adam Novotny into P7. Oh, and Christian Bishop has got by. I missed it. Christian Bishop got by. Let's see, replay man. Can you find it? think we may have. He tries it again as he's coming up into the S's around turn 8. He's around the outside, but this time he stays on the outside, and he gets him going into turn 9. Right across the start-finish line. What a pass. That's Christian Bishop taking P2 ahead of Morgan Teggy here as they cross the line for lap number 8. We'll see if that gap changes, grows, expands, or flips back the other way. Let's go back to live. Can you get me back to live, replay man? Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, replay man. As there goes Ed Smith. Christian Bishop in second, the 88 of Morgan Teggy in third, Chris Springer in fourth position, followed by Philip Scott. No change in the order back here. Bob Wallace in the 666. He is in sixth with Adam Novotny closing. Adam Novotny trying to make up for that error in turn 5 on lap 2. He is on his horse and running. He's got the Lotus 79 clicking off 107.9s, where he's 0.4 of a second faster last lap to Bob Wallace in the 666. 326 is the number. Adam Novotny is the driver. Teammates with Morgan Teggy, who is currently our points leader, but as they run right now, Christian Bishop takes the lead with 3 races to go. So how will that play out? We don't know. Skylar Vickery is in number 8. And then behind him, Brandon Dooley in the 14. Brandon having a pretty good run tonight, but not like he does in the W12. He is back at 9th position. He has a win under his belt in the W12, but not in this Lotus 79. This thing is tricky to figure out. This car is not an easy car to handle. It takes a little while. It's a different kind of car. It's actually set up with the suspension and the tires and everything else from 1978. This is how the car was, and this is how the car felt back at that time. Let's see. Vincent Tramontana, 10th place in the familiar orange and black paint scheme. He's trying what he can to keep up. He's trying to gain on Brandon Dooley 1 second the gap between 9 and 10. Kelly Bishop in the 69 in number 11, in the 11th spot tonight in the race. Kelly staying in front of Theo Bishop in P12. Todd Schwartz in the 420 in P13 with Chris Tartamella in the 44. Back on track and running. Chris Tartamella in the 44 car in 14th place. The battle for second is not over. Christian Bishop around the outside. Morgan Teggy on the inside through turn 1. And they have changed position for the lead. Replay man, what happened that we lost the lead? Well, I can tell you what happened. Because if we go to car 605, something may happen back here on lap 10. There he goes in turn 5. These guys barely miss him. Christian Bishop takes the lead as Ed Smith spins in turn 5. Wow. Can you believe it? And Christian holding off all challenges from Morgan at the moment. I'm going to say Ed Smith is going to get back up there. Adam Novotny gets by Bob Wallace. See if we can catch that one. Adam running the textbook up into turn 5, around through the corner. He got loose here early, but he's got it figured out now. Jumps off of turn 5, gets the draft right up behind Bob in the 666, up through Andretti straightaway, and he's going to just go right on by as if he was standing still. Using the draft with a great launch off turn 5. There's no way Bob's going to stop that as they dive into turn 8. Nice job, replay man. Christian hangs on to the front. The front is tightening up. Ed Smith is running the quicker laps. He's gaining on him. The difference between first and third now, just 7/10 of a second, as Ed just clicks off those half a second, half a tenth, just takes him down, and now he's right there, 6/10 back off the lead. It's close now, all three cars right there within a second of each other. Morgan dealing with the car in the front and the car in the mirror. Christian Bishop. Oh, and there's Ed going around. Ed goes around. Does he land on the wheels? He does. He's going to have to get that back. There goes Philip Scott. There goes Adam Novotny. Was that Adam Novotny? No, it was Chris Springer and Philip Scott. Adam Novotny right on his tail now. Does that cook the tires? Does Ed have it now with those worn out tires? That could be the end for him tonight for running up in the front. We'll have to see if Ed can bring it back. He does have a chance to make a pit stop. He might get tires on that stop. Right now, it's almost a full tenth ahead on the fastest lap of the race. Oh, as the car goes around, that's Chris Tartamella going around in turn 5. But the lead lap cars avoid. Is Adam Novotny trying his signature move, coming out of turn 5, but this is not going to be the same competitor as he's been racing against. But he's alongside Ed Smith as they're going into turn 8. Who will get the edge? Ed Smith takes the corner first. Adam backs out. Wisely waits for another chance to get by P5 Ed Smith. Let's see what's going on up at the top. Morgan Teggy has dropped back 5 seconds. Christian Bishop in the clean air with the clean downforce is gone. He's flying. I believe Morgan would have had an issue. I don't believe Morgan would have lost 4 seconds on his own. Replay man, can you find it? Here's the challenge. Look at that. Replay man, turn 10. Coming around. As he was trying to go for the lead, hits the inside wall, recovers, and here comes Chris Springer right on his tail. Thank you, replay man. Always much appreciated. Back up to our leader, Chris Springer out in the front, or Christian Bishop out in the front. And Chris Springer does get by Morgan Teggy. He does make the pass. Let's see if we can check that. That would have been... He might not keep it, though, as Morgan has a run going around the start-finish line where Morgan lost it last time, but here he goes. Oh, he's going to wait. He's going to wait. He could have tried to sneak up alongside, but didn't do it. Turn 1. He's definitely faster. Gets the jump, going around. Oh! He's just being so patient. I think he's going to try to wait for the Andretti straightaway to get around Chris. We'll see if he can do it. Chris Springer up into P2. Morgan Teggy P3, but he is right on the back end. Nose to tail, shall we say, of Chris Springer. Chris doing great through that turn 3-4 section. Gets a little bit of a lead, 0.3 of a second as they dive into turn 5. Who's going to have the jump coming out of turn 5? Oh, it's hard to say. It looks like Morgan may have gotten it. He's up to 0.2. We'll see if it drops. No, Chris has a great launch and is pulling away up the hill. Unbelievable. It's as though Morgan had a parachute on the back of his car. That's the difference in getting a great launch off of turn 5. But you can tell Morgan is not letting this go. He's right on the bumper again, 1/10 back. He's going to have to get him in the curves because off that turn 5, it looks like Chris definitely has the better angle. You can't get much closer than this. Any misjudgment, any misstep by Chris, and the two of them are off track. Morgan comes around, takes him on the inside of turn 3. That was Quebec corner, made perfect. Will he be able to hang on around the outside of turn 4? He does. And Morgan gets the spot, and now Philip's like, hey, I want myself some of that. And Philip is charging behind Chris Springer to see if he can take away P3 and knock Chris off the podium. Wow, it's close. Christian does have a lead now because of that bobble. Christian is out front comfortably now. 5.5 seconds ahead of Chris Springer? Wait a minute, we just left that. Chris Springer gets back by. Unbelievable. It must be that long straightaway. Replay man, can you find it? This looks like it's going to switch back, though. Should we stay here? Let's try it real quick. We'll see if we can find this action. Yep, there does seem to be something wrong because that is Chris Springer a full 2/10 behind. And he just blows by him on this straightaway like he's standing still. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Back up to live. We'll see if anything's changed. Chris Springer. Oh, Ed Smith takes out Philip Scott. Both of them over into the wall. Oh, that didn't look good. I don't know whose fault it was. Replay man, let's see if we can find that. Whoa, hit the wrong button first. Sorry, everybody. Here's Ed Smith. He's coming up on Philip Scott, coming into turn 5. He's charging. He's coming on hard. They're going through Quebec corner now. And they're going to be going around turn 4 and then into turn 5. He's got a run on him. What happens in this turn 5 entrance? As Morgan Teggy does get back by Chris Springer. Oh, he dives down to the inside, hits the curbing and takes him out. Oh, no bueno. No bueno, takes out the other car. Wow, we're back live. This is Christian Bishop out front. Chris Springer has regained the second spot. Morgan Teggy has dropped back to P5. Chris Springer in second place. Pretty much alone. Adam Novotny, is Morgan's teammate, has built himself back up to third. Bob Wallace in fourth. Morgan Teggy gets back by Ed Smith. Morgan is flying again, but man, he had some trouble there. He had some big time trouble, and he may not have the tires he needs to get the speed. Let's see if he gets past here, because that's about the gap he had to Chris Springer last time up this hill. And Chris just closed that gap and went on by, but he seems to be holding his own. He's losing a little bit of time to the Ed behind him, but Ed is quick. So, although Ed did have that incident with Philip Scott, I'm not sure why Philip went in the pits. Maybe he went in and got new tires. I'm not really sure. He is new. He may not know about the healing damage. He should. Yeah, Morgan is struggling. He was up in the front. He may have worn his tires out early. Chris having a hard time finding a spot to hide. Yeah, no kidding, RC. It was crazy, man. Oh, and Ed Smith off again. Oh, man, he is having one heck of a night. Chris Springer, though, man, is he having a great night. Chris Springer in the Harry Lama number 56. He's got Adam Novotny, who is Morgan Teggy's teammate, all over the back bumper. Man, Chris is flying up this hill. He must have the downforce to 0 to get up that hill that quick. He just pulls away from everybody going up that hill. Unbelievable. RC, the action tonight is incredible. This stuff, these Lotus 79s are really quite fun to watch. We'll see if these guys can get it back. We are on lap 20 of 39, so we're going to have to start seeing some pit stops for fuel. Maybe that was the 99's plan, is to get the fuel now, since he was bumped up anyway. We'll get back out on track and see if he can make up some ground. He is currently back in P8, P9. Following Skylar Vickery. Now, Phillips pretty quick. He was P qualified up in the top 5. So he may be able to catch up and do some damage as the leaders go into pit. You can see these guys, everybody, not everybody, but a lot of cars from P9 back have pit. Christian Bishop, our leader, in the pit lane. Coming back out right now on lap 20, picked up his fuel stop, he may have gotten tires. I'm not sure if he did. I guess he did. There he is, getting tires. You can see it. Christian Bishop in the pits, goes back down to P5. I think those new tires are going to help. That may be the strategy to win. We will find out. The lead goes to Chris Springer. The lead goes to the 56 as he goes up and into turn 5, Moss Corner. Once again, we're on lap 21. And Vincent Tramontana is in the pit lane. Christian Bishop has made his stop, dropped him back to 6th. All top 5 cars have not yet pit. Chris Springer catching up to Kelly Bishop in the 69 car. 9 cars now on the lead lap of the 14 that started. I do not see the 605 on the track. Is he out? And there he goes, Chris Springer into the pits for fuel. Bob Wallace takes the lead of this race as he goes around turn 10 down the front straight. Bob Wallace leads a lap at Canadian Tire MoSport. Morgan Teggy moves into 2nd spot, but he is back a little bit from Bob, 2.2 seconds. That's not that far. That is not that far. But the car in front of him, yep, that is Bob in front of him. The leader's back out on the racetrack. Ed Smith has retired from the race. Bob Wallace currently at point. Followed by Chris Tartamella on the racetrack. Morgan Teggy going by him. Morgan struggling, trying to get pace going up that hill. Still not able to get much, but he is gaining as we get some cloud cover. The sun goes into the shadows. That changes things. Track temp down to 92 degrees from qualifying time at 97. Gives him a little more grip. I think Christian may have the right strategy. He comes out. Chris Springer is behind him. The gap to Christian is 10 seconds to P2. So Christian definitely had the time to spend. Got those tires. And he is up to P4 already. Cars in front of him have not yet pit. Brandon Dooley dropping back in the field, in the pit lane right now, getting some tires and coming back out. Vincent Tramontana in 9th place, coming around the final corner. Will he get? He's going to be having. There's 2 cars in the pit lane, but they are both stopping, so no merge needed. Gets out there, keeps going. He is now in P8 after passing those cars in the pits. Brandon Dooley up to P7. Philip Scott, after his incident early, up to P6. But he has a hill to climb. 3 seconds to Chris Springer. And Chris is flying up that hill. Andretti straightaway, which isn't straight. Go figure. Bob Wallace in the pits. 4 tires. And fuel. Morgan Teggy takes the point. Adam Novotny still has not yet pit. There he is. We can see him taking fuel now. And the tires, the car is up. So he is definitely taking fuel. Theo Bishop pit on lap 19. One of the early pit stop guys. He is up to P11 now. Battling for the next spot with Kelly Bishop, but he is quite a ways off, more than 12 seconds away. Christian Bishop up to 3rd. Adam and Morgan not yet pit. The normal pit time here is about 30 seconds. And the lead is 8 seconds. Christian will definitely take the lead as Morgan comes in, and I would think Morgan would have to come in really soon. We're on lap 24. He goes around again, passes pit lane, takes down across the front stretch at full throttle. Starts lap 25 of 39. He's going to stretch the fuel as far as he can. But the gap to 2nd place, or to the next car back that has pit, Christian Bishop in 3rd place, only 8 seconds. The average pit time about 27 seconds. Can Morgan do it a little quicker? Can he go in and not get tires? Is that a possibility? Can he just go in and get fuel and be able to keep up? He is holding pace with Christian right now, so it is possible. He's still holding that 8-second gap. Can he do it? I don't know. I don't know if this is possible. This strategy may work Philip Scott has moved himself back up to P5. Did we mention that? He's back up to P5 after Bob went in the pit lane. Philip moves up another spot. He's got Chris Springer in his sights about 3 seconds ahead. He's gaining ever so slightly, but no one's going to catch Chris going up that straightaway. I don't know what he did to his car, but that thing is trimmed out completely to be able to go up the hill as fast as he is. Morgan currently on the point, still has not come in the pit lane. Will he come in this time? Quebec corner, turn 3. Still out there on the original fuel, original tires. Starting to put a gap to Christian Bishop. Maybe keeping control of the tires, although Morgan hasn't had a perfect incident-free race. But maybe keeping these tires on the car, going in for that splash of fuel, maybe that's the strategy that will get it. Adam Novotny also still out on the original tires and original fuel. Both of those guys with the fastest 2 laps of the race. Adam with a 107.0 and Morgan with a 107.2. And Morgan had just ran another 107.2 last lap. The speed is there. He's got the clear track. He's out in front. How long can he hold it? He goes past the start-finish line once again without coming in. 420 pulls over. Todd Schwartz lets him by, doesn't want to affect the race outcome. Kelly Bishop still running full throttle in front of him. Now the blue flag will be there. He's got a 1 second gap. The blue flag showing for Morgan Teggy to get around another lap car. Will he have the chance to get by easily as they go down into turn 4 through the turn 5 corner? This is where it's critical. This is probably the point where, oh, and they get through. There he goes. Kelly does let him by through turn 5, but that probably slowed him down slightly. I'd have to see where the gap is. Don't see where Christian is at the moment. Find that gap. But it's still pretty close to 8 seconds. Adam Novotny 5 seconds back. Yeah, it's 8.6 seconds is the gap. Morgan out in the front, the 69 of Kelly Bishop limping as he has an issue there. Replay man, what do we got? Kelly coming through turn 8 and 9 in the S's. Gets a little loose coming into 9 and snap. Reverse snap back on him. Oh, and into the wall. Healing damage saves that. He gets to keep running. As Morgan, is that Morgan diving into the pits? It may be, but the lead hasn't changed on the screen yet. Let me go back to live. Replay man, get me back to live. That was Adam Novotny. That was Adam Novotny going in the pit lane. The gap to Morgan Teggy, 9.2 seconds, 9.1. Morgan's not the quickest up that hill. He does have an extra little bit of downforce on the car. Christian Bishop, with the newer tires, being able to maybe gain some ground. 9 seconds the gap. Morgan's going to have to come in sooner or later. The fuel will run out, and there he is, coming into the pit lane. Will he get tires? Let's keep an eye on him. We'll see if we can watch this from the pit lane camera. It's not easy to see. We'll just see if the car lifts up. That'll give us the notice. That'll give us the indication if he gets tires. It does not. The car does not lift. He is not getting tires. He's going to try it without it. We'll go back up front to Christian Bishop, who now has the lead. Morgan Teggy drops back to 3rd. He's coming out of the pit lane now. He drops back to 3rd place behind Chris Springer. Just by 0.8. So now his battle is double hard. He's got 15 seconds to gain for the win against Christian Bishop, and he has to get by Speedy Guns Chris Springer as he goes up that hill. Chris is flying with that low downforce. Morgan's going to have to get him. We've seen this battle before, and Chris has newer tires. So we'll see if Morgan has anything for him here now that we're at the end of the race. 29, lap 29 of 30. The leader goes by the start-finish line and starts lap 30. Christian Bishop out in the front right now. So he goes by turn 10 and across the line, starting lap number 30. Down the hill, turn 2. Still hanging on. This is going to be a trick. If Morgan can pull it off, it's going to be amazing. I don't know if he's got that much speed in the car. As we see the 12 car, that's Skyler pulls over a little bit and lets the leader by, Christian Bishop, as they go through turn 3. The battle for second spot. Morgan wants all the points he can get. If he cannot catch, Christian, he at least has to get by Chris Springer here. He has to use the draft. He has to stay close. The only chance he has is to stay close up the hill and then gain that ground in the corners on the next lap. Is he close enough? He's still pulling away. Cannot believe how fast Chris goes up that hill. But in the corners, Morgan's got it. Morgan's down to 2/10, 3/10. Coming off of turn 10. Side by side. There they go. Side by side. Morgan around the outside. He's going to take P2 and he's off to the races. Morgan is now in second spot and will chase Christian Bishop for this win. Does he have enough time? There's 8 laps to go this time by. Does he have enough time? Can he make it? Can he make it work? Christian out front says, no, I got new tires. You're not catching me. It's quite a gap. The gap is more than 12 seconds. Back to Morgan. He's got a huge gap to make up. Before the pit stop, he was only getting about 2 to 3/10 a lap quicker than Christian. Will Christian let up just a little bit, or is he going to just stay on it and race as hard as possible? He's got the newer tires. He should have the advantage. Chris Springer bringing it right back to Morgan coming up that hill, but Morgan hangs on going into the S's, and he's going to stay out in front this time. Hopefully, he'll be able to keep that locked down. Chris Springer is definitely not letting it go. 14 seconds the gap between Christian Bishop and Morgan Teggy in second spot. I think Morgan's going to have to just run his clean laps and try to make this a P2 finish. Make sure he doesn't get gobbled up by that speedy Chris Springer up the hill. Philip Scott back up to 4th now. And he is only a second and a half behind Chris Springer as they battle around lap number 32. We've got 6 laps to go. 7 laps to go next time by. What a race. Could we have this much action? Would anybody have predicted? Oh yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. We're going to have this much action. These guys are tight racers. They are strong. They are not going to let anything go. Adam Novotny pulled back into P5. He's got a 10-second gap to Philip Scott, though, and Bob Wallace would love to get that extra 2 seconds back and be able to catch right up with him. Bob in the 666, running for No Fox Given Racing. And running clean laps. 107.9, his quickest lap. Not bad. That was his last lap as well. And Bob up 3 spots from the starting position of P9 at the beginning of the green flag. Adam just in front of him in P5. Adam started up in P3. He's down a spot. But running some clean laps now. He did have a couple issues during the race. Seemed to get that re-sorted and doing pretty good now. Philip Scott in P4 in the blue car, and looks like, is that a change? No. That was a pass for a lap. Chris Springer in the 56 up in P3. He's got a podium finish if he can hang on to this. Morgan Teggy does have the advantage around the racetrack, but Chris has the advantage on everybody coming up that hill. Morgan in P2 goes around Todd Schwartz as they cross the start-finish line into turn 1. And he is once again catching Skyler Vickery in the 12. .13.4 the gap to Christian Bishop. it's holding fairly steady. I don't believe in just 5 laps he's going to be able to catch him. 5 laps to go in this contest. As they cross the line, Christian Bishop out front, running smooth, got clean air, going down Andretti straightaway with no one around him. He's got a gap of 13 seconds behind him and 20 seconds in front of him. Morgan is trying to get by. There he goes. Morgan gets by the 12 cars. They come up the hill, and that is going to give Morgan clean air to the leader. But with 13.5 seconds the gap and only 5 laps to go, as the leader has already crossed the line, that is a tall challenge. Max points for Christian if he can get this. Fastest lap of the race will actually get a point. We'll see who's holding on to that. Right now, Adam Novotny with that 107.0. Morgan Teggy real close, as Brandon Dooley does get passed by Bob Wallace in the 666. Sure, that's and that's Adam Novotny in the pit lane. Let's go back. Replay man, help me out, buddy. Adam Novotny from the P5 position makes a mistake. The simulator giveth, and the simulator taketh away. Coming through to turn 10, hits the grass, comes around, hits the barriers. The car flips over on its top. He can do nothing except go to the pit lane and take the tow. So, Adam Novotny back to P9. His night went from bad to worse. Now P10 as he's coming out of the pit lane now. And Kelly Bishop has passed Adam Novotny back into P10. Philip Scott trying to gain on Chris Springer. Still 1.7 seconds. Now watch this gap. 1.7 as Chris hits the gas going up this hill. Chris, actually, Philip not losing the ground. A little bit. He's going from 1.7. He clicked to 1.8 for a minute. But maybe Philip is running also an extremely low downforce setup. Christian out front now with a commanding lead. 13.5 seconds holding steady on Morgan Teggy. He has clear track. He has 3 to go. Morgan in P2 also looks like he has this locked down. He's 4 seconds the gap over Chris Springer. And then Philip Scott dropped back a little bit. He was 2 seconds, or he was a little closer, 1.7. Now he's 2.0. So Chris gaining a little bit of ground, but Philip keeping him honest, making him work for it. Bob Wallace in the 666 moved up to P5, and he is 5.5 seconds ahead of Brandon. Passed Brandon just a couple laps ago, and Brandon in P6 holding on, trying to keep those tires fresh for these last 2 laps. When he comes by the line, it'll be 2 to go, as the leader's coming up on it right now. With just 2 to go in this contest, Vincent Tramontana in P7, 8 seconds back of Brandon Dooley. And then P8 is going to be Skylar Vickery. Skylar in the 12 car coming across the line. He has his 3 to go this time by, but if he gets caught by the leader, what am I talking about? Am I talking crazy here? He's just going through. He's nowhere near the leader. Hold on, everybody. Replay man, did we ever go back to live? Thank you, replay man. Lap 37 for Skylar. Our leader, Christian Bishop, on lap 38. He's got 1 to go. He's going to hit the white flag as he comes across the line this time. He's up Andretti straightaway. He has the 13-second lead. The leaders are all now in line with no lap traffic between them. Morgan Teggy in second, 13 seconds back. Chris Springer 17 back, and Philip Scott 20 back as they go finishing up lap 38. 1 to go. Christian has to hold this clean. No mistakes, no errors, one time around. The order looks set as long as there are no mistakes, so we'll stay here on the lead unless we see something. Christian Bishop going through turn 2, down the hill, off camber, tough corner. Right-hander number 3, that's Quebec corner. For the last time, down the short chute of turn 4 and then up the hill to Moss corner, turn 5. You've got to do this right, but he doesn't have to do it perfect. He's got quite a gap. He is loosening up a little bit. Morgan's gaining, but all Christian has to do is hold on. He can hold it flat out up this hill. Morgan can get to 12 seconds, but that's going to be about as far as he can get. Chris can just easily go through the S's, take White's corner cautiously, and come across the line for the win. 99 is catching the 56, but they are coming out of turn 5. This is for third place. This is for the third step on the podium. But Chris Springer is probably not going to give way going up this hill. We'll see if Philip has anything for him. Chris is pulling away. That gap just builds as they go up the hill. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Congratulations to our winner, Christian Bishop, coming across the line first. The 88 in second spot. The 56 is going to come across in third with the 99 in tow. Followed by Bob Wallace. I think that's his best finish of the season. This is going to be a P5 for him. He's got a lap car behind him. Brandon Dooley 8 seconds back. He's got this one locked down as he goes across the line. P5 is the spot. And Bob Wallace takes the checkered flag. 14th, this is Brandon Dooley coming around the final corner as he crosses the line, and we jump back to Vincent Tramontana doing the same thing as he gets P7. Skylar Vickery is last car on the lead lap. No, Skylar's gone by. He's already gone by. That is the race. Christian Bishop takes the win. Morgan Teggy takes second place. Chris Springer is third. So the top 3 in the championship are the top 3 in the race. And after this one, the order will go right where it is on the screen. Christian will take over the points championship. Morgan will have to move to second. Chris Springer will stay in third. And the gap from Christian to third will grow. But it's going to be close. This is not over yet. 3 races to go. And they are all going to be in the Formula One W12 current car. No more of the historic car this year. That's it for that one. But we have the finishing order. Christian Bishop, Morgan Teggy, Chris Springer, Philip Scott, Bob Wallace, Brandon Dooley, Vincent Tramontana is in 7th, followed by Skylar Vickery, Kelly Bishop, Adam Novotny, Theo Bishop, Todd Schwartz, Chris Tartamella, and Ed Smith dropped out early. Finishes in last. Sorry, Ed. And there's your finishing order. Whoa, 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 whoa. Back to 26. There's your finishing order right there. There they are. 1, 2, 3 at the starting line. Congrats, guys. Great race. We'll see who's in the booth, if anyone. We'll get this thing underway. Christian!
What is up?
You are a madman.
A lot.
You came in and got tires. You played every strategy you possibly could. Morgan had a couple hiccups. He came in and did not get tires. And he tried to run you down from 14 seconds, but could not do it with the older tires.
Oh, so, he didn't get tires.
He did not. He did not get tires. He tried it.
Interesting.
He tried everything he could. I think there was an incident early on with him.
He spun right in front of me.
He spun. You guys were really close together, and he spun, and you got by. And I think that was the difference. Well, obviously you were a little quicker on some of the laps, but I think he had a couple incidents that took him out of there. But yeah, awesome, great run. Congrats, man.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I love this track, but it was really fun racing with those two until they both spinned it.
Yeah.
But this car is a menace. So
yeah,
it happens.
I think that's an understatement. the
Yeah, it is.
I was watching in practice, and I mean the cars were everywhere, but on the racetrack. So
Yeah, I'm actually surprised it was so clean during the race as far as rejoins and stuff. I didn't really see any problems with that.
no,
Which was
actually
nice.
during the race, everybody was super clean on the racetrack, so it was really good. It was a great race. Yeah, really, really solid. I need to get those guys down here to chat. There he is.
Oh, there they
There's
are.
the man. There's the man in P2 and P3. What's going on, guys?
Hey.
Now, Christian, I was talking to Christian here for a minute. Christian came in before both of you guys did, and he got tires. And I know, Morgan, I think you had an issue. I know you had the issue early, but that didn't put you down the 14 seconds. I'm not sure
I had
where.
2 spins.
What's that?
I had 2 spins.
Okay, second spin. All right. Because I saw you in turn 5, I think it was turn 5, the one time.
I ended up getting so focused trying to get around Chris because he was going so fast that I forgot to pay attention to that rear roll bar, because with this setup, if you don't start dialing in more rear roll bar, it just gets too unstable. And then by the time I realized it, I had already spun.
Yeah, I went back and watched it just now, and it literally goes around like unannounced.
Yeah. Well, it was intense. Your battle, Morgan, your battle with Chris was for the record books. I was following that. I don't know how many laps. It was just back and forth and back and forth. I mean, it was unbelievable. And Chris, I don't know what you were doing with the downforce, but anytime anybody got anywhere near you on the Andretti straight, you were gone.
That was the only thing I had going for me. Then they reeled me in throughout the rest of the course. So it was an interesting back and forth, the yin and the yang.
You went with the Red Bull strat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No
Just be as
downforce.
fast as humanly possible on the straights.
Yeah, it was a great battle.
So yeah, and at the end, I conceded Morgan. I knew he was faster, and I was worried that Philip was going to come up, and that I was risking getting a podium position. So once I let Morgan go about that one lap, I wasn't able to catch him again. But yeah, when I was sitting right next to him, I mean, we could have gone back and forth like that the rest of the race, but we would have lost a ton of time. Morgan probably would have been upset with me by the end of the race. So
no, like I said, it was your position, man.
It was great. It was great to watch. Really fun. Hopefully, it's great on the replay. We had a couple fans watching, so appreciate those guys out there tuning in.
Hi, Dad.
So,
Hey,
and then Ed, man, Ed had it at the beginning, and then once he had his spin, it was over. He lost the tires; they were gone, nothing left.
I think he ended up hitting Phillip, and he felt really bad, and kind of like mentally took him out of the race.
Yeah. And then he couldn't regroup. He couldn't regroup the car, and Phillip had a bad run with that, but he built it back up to 4th. So he was strong. He had a good car. I think he was the only one, Chris, that could stick with you on that straightaway. A couple of laps, Phillip was holding close to you, but then on that last lap, you guys pulled off that corner. I think he was 1.2 behind, and by the end of the straightaway, he was 1.7, and he was in the draft. You still pulled away from him.
Just let her rip, tater chip.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Well, thanks guys for jumping in the booth with me. Appreciate it. It was a great race. Hope everybody out there in TV land and YouTube land enjoys it. Procraft is our sponsor. Formula One is our game. Historic racing tonight. Next week, 3 to go. 3 races to go. We're back in the W12. Who's got the edge? Who can do it? I think there's a lot more players when you jump in that W12. It's not just the 3 of you guys. We've had multiple winners this season, and the W12 proves to be the equalizer. So from the broadcast booth here at Bigg Wizurd TV, sponsored by Stair Fittings Inc. and grandpaskitchen.com, we say good night. Thanks, everybody, for the great race. Good night, all.
Hey, good night.
See you guys. Good racing.
All right, there it is. There it is. Your lead. Your finishing order, top 7 on the screen: Christian Bishop, Morgan Teggy, Chris Springer, Philip Scott, Bob Wallace, Brandon Dooley, Vincent Tramontana. What a race. What a show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Great special guest visit from Howard Cosell. Thanks for him for hitting the old time traveler. 1979, 1978 would have been the scene as these cars drove around MoSport at Canadian Tire. Have a good night, everybody. As always, do not race on the road, race on the racetrack. If you do not have a racetrack, you have one right here. You can race with us anytime. Jump in. This is iRacing. iRacing.com to find out more. Procraft Formula 1 is the league. Bigg Wizurd TV is where you get all the information. 2leagues.com is where you can get all the stats of the races and the winners and all of the information on who is where. Thanks for joining in. As always, have a great night. We appreciate everybody being here, and we'll say goodnight.